Alongside Teddy Atlas, good evening and welcome to Chicago and the famed Aragon Ballroom for tonight's main event. 12 rounds of heavyweight action between these two great warriors.
All right, guys, we went over the rules in the dressing room. Have a nice clean fight. All right.
Round number one, scheduled for the championship distance of 12.
During your training career, is this the type of matchup that you liked when you had a power puncher facing another power puncher?
No, I hated it. I never wanted to fight a big banger. I wanted to be the only guy in that ring that brought that to the party.
Good job staying away from the danger there. He missed with that headshot. Good looking counter punch. A barrage of punches now. Takes one to give one. Uppercut in return. There's another left hand from him. And in round number one, you already get the sense that they have no intentions of this fight going the distance. .90 seconds to go here in this round. You know, we only show up when it's time to watch them do their thing for the fight, but they're really working at it day in and day out just to make weight. What's so tough about making weight in boxing?
Well, it can weigh you down. I mean, it takes discipline. And all of a sudden, it allows you a trail of excuses because now you can start to say, well, gee, you know, I didn't do this. You know, it's the drudgery of it, and it's the consistency of it. When you have to stay at a weight and you have to watch that weight, you have to balance it where you're also going to be able to have a physicality when you get in the ring. You don't want to be weak, so you want to get that right balance where you're disciplined, you get the weight down, but you don't lose that physical edge.
He is not in good shape. He could be on the deck in moments.
Punch it out, no holding.
Gets rid of that body shot. Accurate counter punch by Bad Intentions. Last 10 seconds of this first round. As we come to the end of the round, Joe and Teddy with you ringside. Teddy, that's one of those rounds where I wonder what were the judges looking for, because it's tough to kind of draw a line between those two fighters.
Yeah, very close, but one of those rounds where you could steal it. You did a little bit more in those last 30, 20 seconds. Maybe that's the impression the judges are left with.
Covers up nicely, gets rid of his opponent's body shot. That's a good block by Buster. He gets off with a combination up top. Good way to protect the midsection. That was not well targeted by Buster. Nice block by Buster. doubling up with a jab by Bad Intentions. Nice block by Buster. Oh, he took some damage, but he gave some back with the right hand. On the mark, the counter punch by Bad Intentions. So he decides to go downstairs early on, and I think he'll be happy with that decision later on.
Well, it tells you that he's a well-prepared fighter. His corner came in here with a good game plan. They understood what they had in front of them. A guy that's going to move a little bit. Start going downstairs, taking the air out of the tires, and later on, he'll be in front of you.
And there he counters back against his opponent. Accurate uppercut after taking a shot of his own. Very nice job landing that counter punch, getting away from one that was coming at him. Comes right back with some offense of his own. And a smart counter punch by Bad Intentions. That was off the mark. Blocks that belt line well. Good combination landing there. End of the round is upon us. And if the next round holds up like that, we're going to be in for a real treat.
No, we will be, because both these guys have the philosophy that their best defense is their offense.
Blocked by Bad Intentions. That just missed. And a good counter by Buster. He has walked through bullets, bazookas, and bombs, and he's still standing in there tonight, Teddy.
Yeah, this is a testament not just to the physical makeup. I know a lot of people at home are going to say, wow, what kind of bone does he have inside that chin? But it's his mind, too. He's making a choice, just like you do in life and other things. He's making a choice to deal with this. A lot of guys would have given in already.
And there he counters back against his opponent. Bad Intentions, his strategy coming in was to land a lot of jabs. Teddy, you got to grade him out with an A here.
Maybe even an A+, Joe. That plus is the right hand. Once the jab has been there, bang, the right hand came just when it was supposed to. Give him an A+.
Really a lot of consistency from him with the right hand. Very nice job landing that counter punch, getting away from one that was coming at him. Couldn't hit the elusive target with that straight right. Does it surprise you that he's not going to the body as much as he could be?
Well, what surprises me is that he doesn't have the intuitiveness, you know, just the instinct to understand, to recognize the situation. That's part of the ability of a good fighter, to recognize what he should be doing in a certain situation. He's not seeing that. He should be going downstairs.
Able to dismiss that body shot. Comes right back with a shot of his own. That's exactly what he wanted to do, backing him up against the ropes. Good block there by Bad Intentions. Last last 10 seconds of round number 3.
Keep working the jab.
End of the round here, and as I glance around ringside and look at the judges, I'm wondering what they're writing down, because that was a tough round to score.
Yeah, it was, and you know, it's the kind of round where one guy would be really smart to take a page out of the book of Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, where Leonard stole rounds at the end, where he just clipped off 30 seconds, and that's exactly what the judges remembered.
And now we got a fight. He fires back a right hand of his own.
Move your head.
They trade shots. He comes back with a right hand. Nice job to land that counter punch and getting away from one of his own by bad intentions.
Keep your distance. Guard your head. Side, side. Use the ring, use the ring. Defense.
That punch nowhere close. Good defensive skill with the block by Buster.
Side to side.
Multiple punches coming in now. Good work with the uppercuts. Nice job there. Staying away from those headshots with his defense up top. Comes right back with a shot of his own.
Hit the bottom.
Protecting his head well with his guard. Not hitting his mark there going upstairs. Good defense just covering up down low. Was just off the mark.
Come on. Sit around. Sit around.
Good defense upstairs to stay away from that offensive assault.
Use your feet.
Good looking counter punch. Round comes to an end. And that's one of those rounds, Teddy, that just takes on a certain style, a certain characteristic. And that was a busy one.
Yeah, it was a busy one. Look, Joe, you don't have to look for these guys. They're right there in front of you.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think sometimes you just get those rounds where it all happens?
Because of styles. You know, styles make fights. In this case, you're seeing proof of that right there. Both guys that are aggressive, both guys that are very confident.
Tactical game paying off. You can see the counter punch.
Yeah, you see the counter punch, but you know what I see? I see a little tentativeness now in him because he's afraid to let anything go, because when he misses, bang, it gets caught.
Teddy, you know what I'm so impressed by? Obviously, the pace of this fight is just ridiculous, but how hungry these guys are, how badly each guy wants it.
So this is the kind of fight that it has nothing to do about money. It has everything to do about legacy, how they're going to be remembered.
Just not there. Straight right hand off the mark. Well-targeted counter punch by Buster. Each man able to land an uppercut. Teddy, there are opportunities that are here for him, aren't there?
Yeah, counterpunch opportunities, because he's got an opponent who's walking in a little bit. Now he has a chance to start to chuck something back at him a little.
Able able to dismiss his opponent's shot and then comes back with an uppercut.
Keep your hands up.
Off to the side, a little swing and a miss going upstairs.
Off the rope, Strickland.
This is great. Oh! Bad Intentions is almost out of it there. He was stunned.
Keep busy, guys. Come on now. Keep busy.
Don't move punches. More movement. Head.
Nice combination. Throwing more than one. Both scored there. On the mark, the counter punch by Bad Intentions. Bad Intentions is showing that he's got some defense of his own. He got away from that punch. Targeted counter punch by Bad Intentions. Of the round there, he was able to stun his opponent. Teddy, when you're training a guy that's coming off a round where he just got to his man, what do you do? Do you say, hey, I saw that, here's how you did it? How do you approach that?
Well, you want to make sure you remind him exactly what you're talking about, how he set it up. Don't think about just a big punch that landed. Remember how you got to that point.
Nice block that time. It was intended to the head.
Uppercut. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep your head moving. Keep your head moving.
He tried to nab him up top, but was unable to connect. You know, I thought he had quite a chance tonight, but I don't like what I see right now. Here he is, an outside fighter, and he's unable to do as he pleases.
And if he can't win on the outside, we already found out that he can't do it on the inside.
Head moving. Work the body.
Lands the counter. And from long range, he's able to get his target he wanted.
And when you have somebody throwing long punches, what you don't want to do is what he did. Pull back straight.
All right, come on, guys. Work it out. Work it out. No holding.
Targeting that head with the combination punching. I don't think that blood's going to be a big deal in terms of his vision. It's on the cheek. He just doesn't want any cut to worsen. Very nice job landing that counter punch, getting away from one that was coming at him. Multiple punches coming in now. Oh, very nice. Smart counter punch there.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You make the guy miss, you make him pay.
Pulls the trigger right away with the left hand after getting tagged himself.
Use your feet.
Bad Intentions is proving to be elusive. Final 10 seconds of the 6th round. Covers up nicely, gets rid of his opponent's body shot. Teddy, making predictions in boxing is often a dangerous task, but I'll make one right here that seems pretty obvious to me as we come to the end of that round here. This fight is going to be a brutal display as long as it lasts.
It's kind of like going and watching that home run contest. Nobody's trying to hit singles or doubles. You know they're all going for the fences.
Able to cover up that gut. Tucks those elbows in, blocks the body shot. So swiftly able to turn defense into offense. Nice counter punch.
And what you're noticing here is his opponent is starting to be a little wary of letting his jab go, because every time he jabs, he gets caught.
Buster's sitting here wondering why he's getting hit so much. How about this? You're not moving your head at all.
Well, how about don't wonder about it? You weren't taught that probably in the gym. You didn't work on that in the gym. Well, it's not going to come to you suddenly when you're in the arena.
That was off the mark. Teddy, this is one of those moments where you just wish you could pick up the phone and call up the world and say, tune in. Everybody should be watching this, right?
I have a cell phone. I might do that right now.
Start dialing. Committing to the combo now. Both land. By bad intentions. Oh, he took some damage, but he gave some back with the right hand.
Get out of the way from those.
That punch intended for the head. And a well-placed counter by Buster. As we come to the end of the round, Joe and Teddy with you ringside. Teddy, that's one of those rounds where I wonder what were the judges looking for, because it's tough to kind of draw a line between those two fighters.
Yeah, very close, but one of those rounds where you could steal it. You did a little bit more in those last 30, 20 seconds. Maybe that's the impression the judges are left with.
Good block there by bad intentions. Devastating blow by bad intentions. Bad intentions, his jab is now carrying this fight for him from the outside.
Yeah, because the jab is carrying this fight. You know, it all starts with that jab. And right now, that jab is leading the way.
Able to cut down that ring and just push his opponent against the ropes. And you see he turned defense into offense, comes back with the counter punch.
And that's exactly what he brings to the game. He makes you miss, he makes you pay, and he makes you think twice about throwing a punch later on.
Teddy, I know he's up on the scorecards here. He's got to be up on the scorecards, but he is getting really pushed here.
Yeah, he is. You know, this is a development fight. This is a fight where you come out of it and you get better. That doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes you just get another W. He is learning.
just sit back and enjoy this one. You can tell both guys are so determined to give everything they have here tonight.
Joe, it's like the first time you heard Ray Charles sing God Bless America. You knew it was special. You knew you hadn't heard it before. I haven't seen anything like this before.
Just not there. Straight right hand off the mark. Takes one, gives one. The right hand scores well. He missed with that headshot. End of the round here, and as I glance around ringside and look at the judges, I'm wondering what they're writing down, because that was a tough round to score.
Yeah, it was, and you know, it's the kind of round where one guy would be really smart to take a page out of the book of Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, where Leonard stole rounds at the end, where he just clipped off 30 seconds, and that's exactly what the judges remembered.
Some fine fundamentals, good counterpunch.
Nice mousetrap there, he let him in beautifully. He didn't use cheese, he used distance.
Throwing it, but just missed. Isn't landing it. There it is! He is not in good shape. He could be on the deck in moments. It's like a light switch just went on. Oh, Bad Intentions is finding himself on the canvas. Knocked down there.
One, two, three, four, five.
He gets up after that punch, put him down on the canvas.
Now he needs to get on that bicycle and stay away from this guy.
Finds his target again. Good job on the two-punch combo by Bad Intentions. Able to cover up that gut.
Hey, no holding, no holding.
A hook for you and a hook right back. He was damaged moments ago, but now he's got his feet back underneath him. 1 minute to go in this round. Neither man has decided to slow down at all. Oh boy, what a round. Keep it going. There's a taste of the sweet science. You see the skill he has in counterpunching.
And you know what he's doing is taking his opponent's jab away.
Boy, that's a heck of a job there, landing a three-punch combination. Gets rid of that effort. Good way to protect the midsection. End of the round there. A round in which we did see the knockdown. And Teddy, when a fighter comes back to the corner, having just been floored, typically how are they acting? What are you seeing on that?
Just imagine you just walked into a room and somebody hit you from behind. You dropped. You're afraid to go in that room again. So put a light on in that room and explain to him why he got dropped. He will not be afraid to go back in that room.
Devastating blow by Bad Intentions. You know, you go out there, a fighter like this, you were just knocked down in the last round. Now you got to go out there, you got to prove to your opponent, hey, I'm fine. You got to prove to the whole arena, hey, look at me, I'm fine. You also have to prove a lot to yourself, though, don't you?
Yeah, but you have to remember, that's a good question, but you have to remember this fighter has been there before. So just remember, I have dealt with it before. And then you have to beat David Copperfield. A little bit of a magician, a little smoke and mirrors, and con your opponent. Let him think you're all right. Let him think you even want to fight when really you just want to buy a little time.
Good defense upstairs to stay away from that offensive assault. Nice block by Bad Intentions. Great fight. I mean, just a great fight. Both guys giving their all back and forth.
It doesn't get much better.
Accurate counter punch by Bad Intentions. Good stuff in the opening 2 minutes. A minute to go in this round. Not hitting his mark there going upstairs. Gets rid of that. It was intended for his head. Another flush shot up top. Lands the counter. The end to another very entertaining round in what has been a very entertaining fight. A fight where there's just bad intentions. The fight that just doesn't have the feel of a fight that's going to be a decision win for somebody. Looks like somebody's going to get stopped.
Right from the beginning, they've been fighting with desperation. Like going the decision, as you just touched on, has not been in their minds at all.
Turn defense into offense, comes back with the counterpunch.
And that's exactly what he brings to the game. He makes you miss, he makes you pay. And he makes you think twice about throwing a punch later on.
Good block there by Bad Intentions. Good job protecting himself. A headshot blocked. Wow! Oh, he is stunned. He could go down. So far tonight, he was being completely outworked, but now we see him being more the aggressor.
Oh, it was starting to get a little late. He understood he needed to change things a little.
A little defense turns to offense by Bad Intentions. And now you're seeing the beard that this guy possesses, because he went from stunned and damaged to staying right upright.
Oh, this is like Santa Claus's beard. I'm telling you right now.
Not able to land the headshot. Halfway through what is one of the best rounds you'll ever see. Just great action.
No, it's unbelievable. I mean, if you love roller coasters, you go to an amusement park. If you want to see left hooks, right hand.
Oh, that's gotta hurt. Buster's in a bad place right now. He was tagged. End of the round here. Joe and Teddy with you ringside. It's turning out to be a very good fight because it's very competitive. It's one of those fights that's really hard to score.
Yeah, it is hard to score. It's going to be up to the judges now. Hopefully, they've been watching the way they need to watch, and they're competent enough to make sure that it's not just a matter of who's throwing, but, you know, who's really landing.
Oh, he just misses with that headshot. I really don't like the way he looks right now, Teddy, and I haven't since he got rocked earlier. Now, physically, he may have overcome that, but to me, he's just going through the motions right now.
Yeah, right now he's doing just enough to lose. He's fighting very tentative, and he has to get rid of that attitude immediately.
Excellent counterpunch by Bad Intentions. Good block by Bad Intentions. Accurate counter punch by Bad Intentions. One hook deserves another. Wow. Good block by Bad Intentions. Buster's much better on the outside, much better when he has some space and he's at long range. So pushing off here, creating space is the right thing to do. Able to get away from that headshot with the block. The twists and turns and the non-stop battle, it continues on as we've reached the 1 minute mark to go. Nice block by Buster. Well, obviously what his opponent has done here is the reason that cut is in the shape that it's in. So if you're him, just keep doing what you're doing?
Yes and no, Joe. Of course, it's easy to say, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. But what if there's a little change? Your opponent's cut now. He's going to move his head, you figure, a little bit to survive in there. Now you shouldn't go head hunting, even though that cut's there. Now you have to adjust to what's in front of you. Go downstairs to the body a little bit, then go back up to that head. Don't let that red flag, so to speak, get you to go crazy and forget the body.
All the rounds in the books for the official decision. Let's send it up to the ring. He's your winner, and he gets the nod by split decision.
He gets the nod, and I think he gets a gift.
It was a good one indeed. And for Teddy Atlas, I'm Joe Tessitore. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time.